Das LIGNA Journal vom 7. Mai 2013. Live von der LIGNA zum Thema: Verschläft die deutsche Möbelindustrie den Leichtbau?
Herzlich willkommen. Ich hoffe, Sie sind hellwach und freuen sich wie ich.
Welcome. I hope you are wide awake and are looking forward, like I am, to the exciting discussion round here on the topic: is the German furniture industry sleeping through lightweight construction? LIGNA Journal, one of the top topics of the LIGNA 2013. We would like to dive right into the topic. We are here at the start, and so we have lots of experts here. We have an editor here at the magazine Möbelfertigung, Stefan Müller. Welcome. Thank you for having me. The LIGNA 2013 has the focus on lightweight construction. Why? Other branches, other sectors have been talking about it for a long time. Why now in 2013 at the LIGNA? Why is it a year of lightweight construction? Well, the topic has been very high ranking in the sector for a while, but the machines and the suppliers are the ones demanding it. The furniture industry has already realized it but haven't started implementing it yet, and I think the LIGNA can be an impulse giver for that. Where are the chances with lightweight construction? Well, the name itself already says what one of the chances are. The furniture can be light, it's better portable, easier to transport, and another topic that's very important: resources, of course, are very important. Wood is not as available as in the past. You need less material. And the third thing is design and so on, that are only possible with lightweight construction. Now, you've already been talking about several different options. Why does the furniture sector not put it further into the focus? Well, it seems to be a bit timid about it because of the processes. Investment has to be made first of all. Most of the lightweight construction products cannot be processed in the same way as former products, and that's what the furniture industry is maybe shying away from a little bit. Doesn't seem to be quite as convinced about the offers available at the moment. I think the furniture industry could also, we could complain to them that they haven't been doing as much, but and have not done enough on their own. Well, maybe we can pass this on to the discussion round. Please come with me. Please join me to the discussion round. Because we are not wanting to be timid about this topic, we want to approach it and discuss it very effectively and energetically here. Welcome to our discussion round. Everywhere at the LIGNA we're talking about, or people are talking about, lightweight construction, and we're going to be doing that here too. I'm really looking forward to exciting ideas, maybe a couple of solutions or ideas for solutions here. Welcome here, Manfred Riepertinger, welcome. From Egger, an Austrian family company, and of course we all know one of the leading wood material producers here in Europe, and we're going to be talking about that in a few minutes here as well. Welcome. Homag is here, welcome, from Häfele, one of the leading international producers of furniture and fittings. 160,000 clients in 150 countries. I'm really looking forward to your opinion on this topic. And welcome, Frieda Schuler, welcome, from the Homag Group Engineering. Homag Group, we all know, is a world-leading producer of machines and plants for the woodworking industry, so also from the machine construction division. Welcome to you. Well, a question maybe to all of you right at the beginning to start off the topic. We've already heard a little bit about the problematic situation here. You can produce lightweight construction boards, panels. What are these thought for? Which market segment are these thought for? Well, thank you, first of all, for the invitation to take part in this discussion round. Our company, Häfele, produces these lightweight panel boards and on an industrial basis. In 2006, we started production. with the concept of the sandwich board with a middle area with a six-segment honeycomb. Eggert took up this topic with something that was already mentioned beforehand. We saw that there was a limit to the resources. The lack of resources is getting worse, and to manage to change what resources we need, but also to manage to produce good products. That is why EGA started 6 years ago to produce these light boards. Mr. Lang, topic Häfele. Of course, fittings are also very important. What special challenges does lightweight construction place to you? Well, the special challenge here is, of course, to create fittings that have to hold something, that to be stable and have to be able to connect parts, that we can connect them stably. Well, there are several options, but we want to keep it as simple as possible so that a carpentry company or a furniture production industry can build together the boards, and that was the challenge that we saw ourselves faced with, and we took up the challenge and took our traditional fittings that we have been putting on the market successfully for many years, and we've adapted them in such a way that they can be used in modern lightweight construction. Mr. Schuler, the Homag Group presents here at the Hall 26 production of lightweight construction. Can you tell us a bit how the clients are accepting this? Well, lightweight construction is being regarded very highly and accepted very highly by the clients. We have a very low percentage of machines at the moment that process lightweight boards, but I think in the next 10 years or so we'll be coming up to a two-digit area. The topic of lightweight construction is something that we're looking at for furniture parts, and the demands that the company EGA has for 6 or 7 years now. We also have to say also for door production and door board production. Lightweight construction is also much older there, and that wealth of experience that we have from there is much longer than 6 or 7 years actually. So we just heard that. Everything is already here, everything's working, the systems are there. Why are people so timid about it? What about the demand? Well, my first question here, Mr. Riepertinger, but the question is actually for everybody. What does the current demand on the furniture industry look like? Where are the requests coming from to the company EGA or Häfele? Who's interested in the plants by Homag? Well, to start with the boards, maybe our market segment that we have already been serving right from the beginning are two steps or two levels. One channel is 50% for trade, carpenters and joiners. That's the same for lightweight construction boards as well. 50% of our turnover is there with that goes to the carpenter, and the other 50% go to the industry. In the industrial sector, of course, there are couple of these DIY stores, furniture stores, but the standard for furniture production has needed these elements for a while. The topic that is maybe not as voluminous at the moment, that there's only a focus on very few parts at the moment, but at least that's the beginning. So not complete constructions are made out of it. Maybe that's different in the trade with craftsmen. They actually make complete pieces of furniture out of lightweight construction material. What about you, Mr. Lang? Where do the requests come for you? Well, the requests are very meagre, actually. They're limited mainly to just patterns. We don't get much in the way of lightweight fittings. We can't sell many of them. One of the big problems we have are the different kinds of lightweight construction boards that you can get. We, of course, focus mainly on the products by the company EGA, because in this field we've developed furthest and can focus on the market here. But there, of course, we have the problem. Other boards are not as ideally suitable or adaptable with our fittings. And that's where we talk about norming here, standardization. We need a standardization in that area as well. So you would say the requests have been lower than what Häfele would have liked? Yes, I can definitely say that. Well, with us, the main requests are the main clients that we have sold products to are the pick-up furniture producers, ones that we have sold for many years now. But a small portion is also from lightweight construction for airplanes, aircraft, interior construction, not the classic honeycomb structure, but also other components, other types of lightweight construction board. And I am of the same opinion. It's difficult to have one fitting or one kind of fitting for all of these different types that are on the market now, to cover them with that. And that's a topic for us as a machine producer. We find it a little bit difficult. Of course, it's very important in the near future to focus on 2 or 3 areas and to concentrate and to advertise these and to show the advantages and there to improve the market there. Can you see a tendency or a focus on something in particular, or do you have the feeling that there's a new lightweight product every 6 months? Well, the tendency is visible. There is a certain satisfaction or saturation in the market for lightweight construction boards, and we think it's about time now to concentrate on 2 or 3 points and to really tackle these in a focused way. Maybe it's concentrating on 2 or 3 core products. Maybe the industry is a bit against that, has a couple of kinds of resents it. Maybe we have to go back a step again here, just a second. Egger's concept is from its base production of the board, the sandwich board that we talked about with the honeycomb core. It's produced without any additional materials. If people nowadays use these boards at a big range, then the connection is a bit of a topic. I'm always processing normally in a full material, in a solid material, but there are a couple of hurdles to jump over here. Economically successful is something that will only happen when we're only able to process it without any kind of connection, as with a normal board, standard board. Some people might not be really too happy to do that. Some might wait for the next investment options. You can't always invest just because there's a new board available. That is something that will happen in the next few years. I'm convinced of that, definitely. But aren't the furniture producers limiting themselves a little bit if they just wait for this kind of board? It means that they're not flexible with the fittings. Yes, well, that's our basic concept. We have to create a board that is just as flexible as any normal wooden composite, that I can cut in the way I would like, optimize the cut. I don't need to take care of anything apart from the optimizing formats, and then put it into the KF line and put on my fittings. And that's the concept that we are working with. We do not need a connector in the board. That's just not good. Yes, what is also interesting in the CNC area, in a rectangle board, I can have a freeform board, and we also need to think about circular boards. We are convinced that there are solutions there, and concept-safe solutions. It's only the implementation that's a bit of a challenge now for the companies to work with, to actually manage that, but it's time. Yes, if you say the companies have to dare to do something, would they have to sort of act a little bit ahead? I wouldn't say they're too conservative, but of course they're eyeing it carefully. What are the others doing? And if 2 others do it, do I have to do it too? maybe there's a lack of the hunter that goes ahead and looks to see what's around. That maybe has to do with the advantages, not only in the production of the boards, but also in processing the boards. You need less energy to process these boards than a full solid wooden board to produce it. And this, I'm sure, would be interesting for furniture producers and encourage them to invest in new technology. You, Mr. Lang, for example, or Mr. Riepertinger, what would you say to the statement that it's too cost-intensive and not really safe for procedures? That's something that people keep complaining about. Well, I think if you start an innovation procedure, Häfele, because of its many years of experience in connection, we have been thinking about this for a long time. And in our opinion, we have developed the right fittings. We have invested many 100,000 euros in tools, and we think that we have a full range of tools for processing lightweight construction boards and fittings. And producers sometimes say, oh, that's good, but this doesn't work, or the next thing doesn't work. And with the innovation process, there are always two sides necessary. We need the innovator, a leading furniture company. They say, these are our requirements, this is the way we would like to go, and that's what we need you for, to go this way with us. And that is something that has not happened until today.
Und das ist bis zum heutigen Tag nicht geschehen.
From the point of view of the machine producer, I can't say that it's not safe for the procedure. They are safe for the procedure. We have a pre-feed range, a very high pre-feed range. There are enough systems on the market that produce lightweight products. The cooperation of edge and the raw board and the fittings, that works. So that's not a reason not to invest. But where are these plants? Are they really in Germany, or do you sell these systems more to companies abroad? We from the Homag Group, as we generally export a lot, 85% of our turnover we do actually with export. That, of course, is a mirror of the plants, the lightweight construction boards that are processed. 85%, I'm sure, are abroad. But you want to say something about the cost in you? Well, in the meantime, there is a furniture producer, from outside the Swedish company that is focusing a lot on the honeycomb board. We all know that company. This is a big signal. It is one of the leading furniture producers that is actually using this new technology now. And maybe as an addition, what we have been seeing in the last few years is, of course, also the use of lightweight construction boards is, let me say it, according to our abilities, made in such a way that we have fairly thick middle ranges or middle layers. It's not really necessary to have special fittings then for these, and we also offer, we've always done that, we've focused on that right from the start, boards with connections. This procedure is also something that is used very often. So the fittings with our possibilities are not quite as vital, but it could be an option, will be necessary for the thinner boards will not be possible then. Also from an economic point of view, it's necessary to have that. You said that it wasn't really too great a demand. It's a bit of a pity. What could be the reason? Here again, the question for you. Is lightweight maybe still not really something that people find very attractive? Yes, well, the image of lightweight construction isn't, well, I can't really say, lightweight doesn't have a bad image, but it's very lightweight often is equaled with low quality, and that's a problem. And I would also like to ask the round here, does it have an image problem because in Germany a good piece of furniture is heavy? Well, yes, I confirm that. I can only confirm that. I've often visited customers about this topic and talked to them. Light, I'm convinced, I really think it's great what you're doing, and I would be part of this. But my clients, when they see the furniture, they say, oh, that's rubbish, it's no good. If I think back, my parents' house, there was a cupboard put up, it cost thousands and thousands of euros, covered the whole wall. Now it's no longer there, but it was there for many, many years. And I think these times are gone. The generation now is far more mobile because of jobs, more flexible. They live here, then they live there, they move around a lot, and so they need lightweight furniture. It's far more practical, and I could imagine that in 10 years maybe the society will say light is cool, heavy is out, and that's exactly the opposite of what it is today. But wouldn't this segment, isn't that just IKEA at the moment? Well, if you're going to be really nasty about it, is it just IKEA?
Wenn man es ganz böse formulieren will.
From our point of view, it is especially for disassembled furniture. It's interesting. It's maybe also got to do with the marketing campaign. I could imagine from these big furniture store, they said we want light packages. They're not to be more than 20 kilos in weight, so that when the people buy them, the packages, they can transport them home on their own. If we carry on with this campaign, then you can't only buy it yourself and transport it, but you can even assemble it yourself. And if this furniture is then standing, it does not moved anywhere, so then the heavyweight factor is not as important. And in airplane construction, where you need light, the light effect. From our point of view, it's part of the marketing campaign that light is bad. You can come up against it and deny that. Really, I think it really is a question of our time, of the times we're in. Light is bad is maybe for the generation like me with the grey hair, 50 years, was not confronted with any kind of tightness in future things. For example, now we say there's not much wood now, oil's getting more expensive because there are not the resources available anymore. We weren't confronted with that when we were younger. The younger generation and the following generation, they are constantly being confronted with these topics. So I think that the change in values and the demand for lighter products will actually occur. And I don't think we'll have that problem in 10 years. I think the value of light products is not going to be seen negatively, and it's going to have a better position in the future. Well, light is also brought into combination with energy and saving. Well, what you said, all these reasons that you brought, these are the arguments that IKEA, as a cheap provider, or more or less a cheap provider, that's one of the arguments for the furniture that's in a slightly higher level, more expensive than the IKEA products. Well, I wouldn't use the word cheap. I would say a very good cost effect, cost ratio. Inexpensive is maybe better. Well, the benefits are obvious, and it's a topic that for handling of material, the complete process chain in a furniture store like that. Well, energy and resource-friendly production of material, simple material handling in the furniture production process. I don't need as many heavy weights. I don't need vacuum and so on, transportation. This furniture can be more easily brought to the point of sale. I can get it from the store to the house very easily, and I can also assemble it more easily. These 5-6 steps in the process chain of a piece of furniture, these are benefits and arguments for each area. But also here, there's not a higher use out of it. We have the assembly. Well, I could say that with several other furniture, do-it-yourself, put-it-together furniture construction markets. But if it's higher quality furniture, how are these producers to promote that? Well, if I may say, what we produce is already going in that direction. That is the case. The 50% for the craftsman, that is also reality, and the craftsman is more in a classical way, always with a high, stable and individual quality. And that's 50% of what we produce. And the other 50%, that is not only, assembly, self-assembly furniture. People who offer high-quality products who use this. And now if I just don't look at the resources and want to look at the market segment of selling products on the internet, there's a big advantage. Well, if you have a classic piece of living room furniture from 20 years ago, it was all big box-like furniture. That is something that is not the same nowadays. We have the flat screens. We don't have the big, clumpy furniture anymore. We have boards, wall boards, and just the sort of stick-in features and so on. This area, if you think of rooms of 3 meters 50 high, with lovely libraries, with walls there, you can use lightweight construction panels here very nicely. In this respect, functionality is really on the market. We have lots of uses and applications for electrical motors. I'm just thinking of the box in the kitchen, the LEDs that you have in the furniture nowadays. That is also something for lightweight boards to connect these pieces of furniture with electricity cables or electric cables. And there's a very clear trend towards electrification of the furniture, and the lightweight construction board is, of course, an ideal material. And I'm sure, I agree with Mr. Riepertinger. You cannot put that in the same level as cheap lightweight construction furniture. That it's not cheap. You said beforehand the Swedish furniture company is the German furniture company slipping through this new development, lightweight construction. But IKEA, for example, has been dealing with lightweight construction for many, many years, and that in a very intensive way. And the chance for the German furniture industry maybe would be to have their nose a little bit further forward here. The partners are here in Germany, and they're here at this table, among others. Well, I find it quite exciting that you just said, not only because the trade is a bit conservative, maybe, but also that in the former generation now that technology is important and that it's being integrated into the products. That was quite a nice turn to this next part here. A look into the future. What's going to happen from now? Do we need to do more about resource protection and hybrid building? Is that a future there? Is there a future there? Yes, I would answer both with yes. Resources are getting more and more scarce, and the wood processing industry also working with the energy companies, able to buy in wood in a different at a different level, and that's a problem that a lot of people maybe don't see yet. There are going to be necessities arising from that. Hybrid building or construction, I think that will come. People have to start rethinking. There is this too static way of seeing things, in my opinion, about the topic lightweight construction. If you look at a car construction, caravan, so on, they keep thinking, where does lightweight construction make sense? But this question is something that furniture producers will also have to make, or have to ask themselves in the future, and use lightweight construction in combination with different materials, with heavy materials, but in total cost, energy, material, it's saving all of these. Thank you very much for an exciting discussion around here. If you at home or here at the studio have the feeling it keeps making funny noises, no, but we're actually in the middle of a trade fair hall. That's a saw that's making sounds in the background, and the saw sounds a little bit strange. Thank you very much for this wonderful round here. In summary, we can say it was very interesting. 4 heavyweights in for the topic lightweight construction. Thank you very much. I hope you all have a successful trade fair, and thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you again at LIGNA Journal. I hope you have a good time and many interesting impressions from the LIGNA 2013.